In April 2012, a volunteer flew 8,000 miles to Malawi in central southern Africa to see what the Tongole Foundation was doing in the villages around the Nkotokota Wildlife Reserve. Malawi is one of the poorest countries in the world, and over 65% of this region's population lives below the poverty line, on less than $1 a day. The Tongole Foundation is a charitable organisation working to meet the economic, social and environmental needs of the most vulnerable of these communities. With little outside help in the villages and poorly funded schools, getting started has been a real challenge. The people in these communities don't want ongoing charity, but to have a chance to help themselves out of poverty through education and sustainable businesses. And that's where the foundation comes in. In a village on the outskirts of the reserve, the Kaluzi family are up and the children all ready for school. In rural areas, Malawian children get up very early. Before they can go to school, they have to assist their parents and families in tending the fields. Free primary school education is provided by the government for all children. Over the last 20 years, the number of children attending school has doubled to over 3 million, putting even more strain on an already overstretched education budget. After their early morning start, the children have to walk to school, which for some may take up to 2 hours. On arrival at school, Melita, her brothers and sisters joined the 800 other pupils at Chankawi School. One of the straw classrooms had collapsed, and what's left standing was no longer suitable as a classroom. Many classes were held outside under the shade of a tree. With no chairs to sit on, the children had to put up with sitting on bricks. Unfortunately, the government simply doesn't have enough funding for education and relies heavily on non-governmental organisations such as the Tongole Foundation.
What is 6 minus 2?
Some classrooms had brick walls, but no roof. That might be okay when it's cloudy, but what is it like when the sun's out or the rain is falling? A 20-minute drive took the volunteer to Mwala wa Tongole Primary School. It was tidy up day, when all the children helped sweep the classrooms to keep back the grass from overgrowing the school. School uniforms, exercise books and pens are not provided by the government and have to be bought by parents. Many are unable to afford them, and some of the children have to make their notes in the sand. This is the teachers' accommodation and staff room. Come the rains, these buildings are useless, and those teachers that would normally live at school and teach during the rainy season just can't. If the children do turn up, there's often no one at school to teach them. New toilets are needed for the hundreds of children. The present mixture of holes in the ground and basic brick blocks are really not adequate, and the lack of basic sanitation is quite obvious. The third and final school that was visited was Wasi Primary School, on the southwest borders of the Wildlife Reserve. The road to the school, if you can call it a road, wound its way through fields and small farms where most of the children lived. At first glance, the brick classrooms looked in good condition, but on further inspection, it was obvious that they hadn't been finished. The school had run out of money some years ago and construction had stopped. The Tongole Foundation not only wants to finish the interior of the classroom, but to complete the path outside, which isn't easy to walk on if you have no shoes. Football, even plastic bag football, is a favourite for all Malawian boys. And the girls like to play netball, if only they could get the ball off the boys. Education through sport is one of the Foundation's objectives, and the provision of sports equipment to the schools has already made an impact. There was great excitement when our volunteer was able to donate 2 footballs to both Chankawi School and Mwalawa Tongole School. It gave him an excuse to lead the pre-match exercises, to become the first Englishman to play in the school team, to be someone new for the cheerleaders to sing about. And he even had a chance to recruit a new supporter for Norwich City Football Club. As well as education, the Tongole Foundation is committed to facilitating sustainable businesses within the villages surrounding the Nkota Wildlife Reserve. This commitment is already making a difference. New jobs are being created, trades are being taught, and the effect on the communities are now being felt. As a result of the country's growing tourism industry, one of the villages has opened its doors to the public, showing their rich culture and performing Malawi's traditional music and dance. The additional income that this new business has brought has enabled some of the villagers to move out of the old traditional huts into newer, more waterproof houses. One member of the Eco-Tourism Club was keen to show off his new home, along with its sealed roof and a new lighting system consisting of 3 AA batteries connected to a single LED. William and Christina Kasangu are 2 farmers producing honey. Their beehives bring a welcome income for the couple and their family. But there's a problem. They haven't enough hives, and there are only 2 bee suits to be shared amongst several villages. Unsuitable gloves, and with bee suits falling apart, they do their best with what they've got. Without a proper smoker, they use a saucepan and some smouldering leaves, not really giving enough smoke to subdue those bees. The Tongole Foundation is making a difference to the schools and communities in the region. More children are now sheltered from the rain, sitting on chairs and writing at desks. Their next school building project is now underway, replacing the old leaking straw classroom. It's a project that involves the whole community, bringing employment and much-needed income to many. With everyone working together, the school building is taking shape, and soon the children will be in their new classroom, but will need to be fully equipped with desks and chairs, books, paper and pencils.
Thank you, everyone!
The trip to the villages in Malawi was over, and it was time to say goodbye. Sights and memories from the visit would never be forgotten.
Cheers!
He had danced in the farms. He had danced in the fields. He learnt how little goes such a long way. Seen 14-year-old Michael wear his first pair of trainers, and had made many, many new friends. The Tongole Foundation is committed to supporting the communities surrounding the Nkota Wildlife Reserve. Education and the creation of sustainable businesses are key to these communities' futures. Just £26 will pay for a new beehive, and £20 for a bee suit. A metal roofing sheet costs £15, and 100 bricks cost just £2. With your help, we can keep the rain out of the classrooms, build paths that last, and help provide what's needed to give these children the education they deserve. Just £30 will get this boy off the brick and onto a chair. You don't have to give much to make all the difference. And this boy will thank you forever. In a world where there is so much need, it's hard to know how we can make a difference. Working with the Tongole Foundation, you might not be able to change the world, but you will change lives.